Hey designers, and welcome back. If you want to see how I transform from this to this, just stay tuned. Alright, welcome back you guys. I have not done a get ready with me in a little while. This is not going to be a tutorial, it is just a get ready with me. So we'll kind of chit chat as we go along, and if I can remember, then I'll have posted for you down below all the products that I'm going to use. Otherwise, you could just sit here and get ready with me and we won't worry about stopping to talk about all of the products. I'm really going to do just a little bit of a light makeup today, only because I don't plan on actually leaving the house and going anywhere. Got a lot of stuff to do around here today. Just wanted to put on a little bit of makeup, do this video for you guys, and feel a little bit better around here. So that's what I've decided to do. So again, not a tutorial. I do have other tutorials on the channel, and if you want to see a specific tutorial, then just let me know, because eventually maybe we can fit that in, but for today we're not going to worry about that. So how have you all been doing? Those of you that have been following through Vlogmas, I know how you've been, because you've been hanging out with me all month so far. I can't believe that today actually ends the first week of Vlogmas already. You guys, Christmas is going to be here before we even know what happened. So are you ready? It's kind of too late now if you're not. Oh my goodness, better get in the flow. And I'm not talking about as far as gifts and all that kind of stuff, because, you know, gifts come when they come. But I'm just talking about emotionally and mentally. Are you ready for the holidays? What are some of your plans going to be? How many of you stay home for Christmas versus traveling for Christmas? We stay around here. My parents live close enough that we're able to just drive that little trip in one day. They don't live very far away at all. So that's our plan. We usually have Christmas morning here with our kids, and then we hop in the car and head on down to my mom and dad's a little bit later in the day for a big lunch with my siblings. And that's usually how it goes pretty much most years. Once in a great while, we may see my husband's family on Christmas, but not usually. He has a sister that lives up in Chattanooga, and they usually stay home for the holidays. And then he does have a brother and a sister that both live here in Florida, about 3 hours away from us. And that's still relatively close, but because they do Christmas morning at their homes and we like to do Christmas morning here, then we don't typically see them on actual Christmas. If you've been following the channel for a while, then you guys already know that my husband has lost both of his parents already. And so because of that, we don't have his side of the parents to see for the holidays, and that's always a little bit sad. Try to remember them the best we can during that time, but we don't actually get to see them. So that's what our plans will be, good Lord willing, and things don't change between now and then. How about all of you guys? What do you plan to do for the holidays? Do you travel? I've always thought it would be neat if you watched Coco and Cookies this week, then you know that one of the things that I've always wanted to do is to be able to travel somewhere where it snows for Christmas. But doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon. Definitely not this year. But I would eventually love to do that and see some snow. My children have never seen snow either. I am 46 years old, and if you watched that Coco and Cookies, then you know the extent of the snow that I've seen. I don't think that you can call Florida snow really snow. So that really doesn't count, you guys. That doesn't count at all. Nope, never seen it, and therefore my kids have never seen it either. So I think that would be fun one of these Christmas seasons to be able to travel. But I wouldn't want to go where I would get snowed in and then not be able to get home. You know, I've seen those movies and then heard the horror stories on the news where sometimes those bad blizzards roll in and then people just kind of get stuck there for a few days and can't get out and get home. I definitely wouldn't want to go to a location where it snowed that bad, because as much as I would love to see the snow, nah, I don't want to live in it. I'm a Florida girl through and through, and definitely wouldn't want to get stuck there permanently, I don't believe. You guys tell me. I know that some of you that watch the channel have been in southern places as well in northern places. Did you go from the south to the north, and was that an extremely hard transition for you, going from the heat down here to the cold, cold weather? Have you come south from the north, and has that been quite a change? Do you miss those snowy days at Christmas time, or are you happy for the change? Let me know the difference in climate and how that's kind of affected you. We had some good friends that had moved up to New Hampshire, oh goodness, probably about, wow, it's probably been about 12 years ago now. And one of the things that was a little challenging for her right at first was because it was kind of dark and dreary a lot of the time, completely different than how it is down here in Florida. And she had a little bit of a time adjusting to that. And we had gone up to visit them during the summer. I believe it was in the month of June. Yeah, it was the month of June that year that we went up to see them. And even in June, it was still kind of just dreary and looked overcast, even though it wasn't raining. And that's not why it was dreary. Like, there was no rain in the forecast. It just was dreary, kind of dark, and like it is here today. Actually, if you can see out my window here today, we're kind of experiencing the very thing that I'm talking about, even right here, but that's because we're having rain today. For them, that was just like the norm of how it is every day. And I thought, oh, there is just no way that I would want to have to live in that. I'm not going to say that I couldn't live in that, because obviously you can do whatever you have to do if you have to do it, right? But I wouldn't want to have to. Let me just put it that way, because I am a sunshiny girl. Definitely love Florida. The heat, yes, it does get a little unbearable at times, but I guess because I've been here all my life, I'm just pretty much used to it. And so it doesn't really bother me. Doesn't really bother me anymore. Not like it does some people. We have some little neighbors who have a place across the street from ours here. I'm sure you guys have seen it when we've been outside. But they only come down a few months out of the year. They're from Ohio, and so they're not here a lot. And when they first got this little place as like a winter type home, they tried to come down during the summer a few times, and it was just so miserable for them that I'm trying to remember even when was the last time they made it down during the summer months. It's been a while, because it's just a different kind of heat here. And I know people keep talking about that, and I guess maybe unless you've lived in it, you really don't understand, but we have what's called a wet climate. It's very, very humid, and that's what makes it feel unbearable. It's not necessarily so much the heat, because there are other places that get hot temperatures too. I mean, trust me, Florida is not the only state by any stretch of the imagination. Matter of fact, there are some other states, Texas, out towards Arizona, even some parts of California, actually get hotter temperatures than we do. But the type of heat they get is completely different. It's what they call a dry heat. And we have had people that come down here either for vacation or conferences or whatever brings them our way, that all say the same thing, like, oh my goodness, it's hot where we are, but not near there because you can't breathe outside. And that's the truth. That's what the humid weather does to you. It's like thick. It like makes the air thick, like you're breathing a wall of water. And I think that is really, you know, it's like when you step outside and you hear people talk about, man, I was wet before I even got to my car. And they were, but it's not necessarily from sweat. It's from the humidity, and you guys are probably going to hear the rain now. Can you hear it? The rain has begun and it is hitting the roof up there. Anyway, it's a totally different kind of heat than what they experience there. And so what I was saying was that by the time you get to your car, it isn't necessarily so much that you've been sweating yet. It is the fact that it is so very humid. And so therefore the moisture that is in the air is what's getting on you, making you just feel thick and just wet and nasty. And that's what people who visit down here, we're kind of used to it because we live here. Just like I'm sure those of you who are in the north, you know, if we were to come up there. Whoops, sorry about that little interruption there. Anyway, those of you who live up north that deal with the cold would probably laugh your heads off at us if we came up there and didn't know how to handle the cold, because you guys are just used to it. And it's the same way down here. You know, we get tickled at people that can't handle the heat because we're just used to it. Just a different climate, and what you're used to is all. But at any rate, that definitely would be one thing that I would love to be able to do, is to see the snow, be in the snow, enjoy the snow, but not get trapped in the snow, so that I could come back home when I want to. I get tickled because different people's idea of like the perfect vacation, and my parents are the type that they love the mountains. Every time that they have some time off, they head straight for the mountains. And they love it. They just love it, that atmosphere. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like to visit the mountains, and when I have been, I do enjoy that. There's something kind of majestic about climbing to the top of those peaks and seeing out all around you, and just it is magnificently awesome in the moment. But that's not what I consider like my dream getaway by any stretch of the imagination. What I love to do and where I love to be is on a lot of sand with palm trees and water, wide open spaces where you can see as far as the eye will let you see. I don't like being inhibited by those mountains on either side of me, and you know, dark and dreary and just nah. We've gone to vacation during the summer in the mountains before, and it can be beautiful, nice and sunny when the sun is directly over you. But when the sun, you know, is either rising or then setting, because it gets right around those mountains at just the right angles, you guys, then it completely blocks out the sun, and I couldn't handle that. I could not handle that. I have to have it bright. As a matter of fact, you guys have probably noticed, even inside of our house, it's pretty much bright here all the time. All the time. We have a lot of lights, and they go on when we get up in the morning, and then they stay on pretty much throughout all the day. And that's just how we do it around here. I don't like the dark. It makes me feel kind of depressed and closed in, and no, I can't do it. But then I know other people who actually prefer it darker. Matter of fact, when we bought this place, we had purchased this place from my husband's siblings after their father passed away. And before he died, when we would come over to visit, they had a lot of trees that were hanging right over the home here. They had blinds up, the walls were a real dark paneling, the carpet was a real dark burgundy orange. Everything was just dark. And I can remember sometimes we would come over like on a Saturday afternoon, right at high noon, when it was so super bright outside, but yet you walked in the front door here and it was so dark. I mean, like you felt like it was evening outside. It was really that dark, and I just know I can't handle that. Some people love it though. That's, you know, to each their own. Nothing wrong with it one way or the other. Just I prefer lots and lots of lights. So when we bought this place, we had started digging it all apart, and we brought in the you guys never saw it before because that was pre-YouTube, but well, the kitchen cabinets, everything you see in the kitchen and the bathroom right now as far as the cabinetry is concerned is still the same, because even though we've had to kind of remodel again after the mold issues, the cabinets we salvaged. So all of that is still the same. That's not anything new. So you see how white those are, but we changed it all out. We brought in the white cabinetry, then we brought in light colored flooring. I had at that time even white vinyl in my kitchen. Since then, now I've gone back with a little bit darker of that gray flooring in the kitchen. You guys have seen that. So I have darkened the floor back up just a little bit, but no, we had to lighten this place up. I told my husband, I said, I will never be able to survive if I have to go in there and live with it so dark like they have it. No, no, no. So how about you? I'm curious. Are any of you like that? Do you like it light? Do you like it dark? What do you like? Now, if we're having a lazy day around the house, and let's say it's a Saturday or something, and we just want to spend a family day like watching movies or kind of vegging out or stuff, then I do like it a little dim. Sometimes, rarely, but sometimes in the morning, I may wake up and if I haven't had a really great night's sleep and I'm just feeling blah, then I might get up and just want to kind of keep it calm for a couple of hours before I throw open the blinds. But on most days, that's the first thing that happens. The blinds go open and all that sun comes pouring in. Anyway, I think I'm just going to try this simple one color look today. Well, really, I guess it was two. The highlight on the brow bone and then that dark, dark brown on the lid. Smudging it out, feathering it out with that clean brush kind of brings up a little bit of a dimension into that crease line and makes it look like you have on more than one color when you really don't. So I'm just going to tight line in here, try to get this up inside that water line. It'll save me from having to do a big wing. Since I am going to do that so simple today, I'm not even going to bother about putting eyeliner on my bottom lashes. That's one thing about makeup. You can do it so differently and you look so different every time you do it. Like the kids and I get such a tickle out of sometimes when we're watching different people's YouTube channels. And just like from day to day, their makeup may be different and they look completely different. Or sometimes my kids chuckle at me because if you watched the video the other night, whenever we were getting ready to go to the soccer game, like in one clip, I had on no makeup, and in the next clip I did, and they were like, man, you look so different. And you really kind of do, but you can even look different, even just between the different looks that you do, you know? It doesn't even have to be just because you have makeup or don't. Even the different ways that you do your makeup can make you look different. But I just kind of wanted to go for a simple, you have makeup, but you don't want to fully look like you do kind of thing, more of a natural look today. So I'm not going to go in on the bottom with all that heavy eyeliner and stuff. Just kind of darken up this lash line on the top and see how that will look. I'm not one, you guys know already, if you've been watching the channel, that I am not one that does makeup every single day. I tried to get a little bit better of it back. I guess it was probably during November. I thought, well, I think I'm going to get up, just start concentrating on my face a little more, do a little more makeup, but that didn't last very long because first of all, I'm not extremely fast at it. You guys will probably see, however long this video ends up being, and I know I'm talking, which is slowing me down a little bit, but it's really not slowing me down that much. I'm just not fast with makeup, not at all. Never have been, no matter how much I do it. It's, you know, I'm not very fast at it. So, to me, it wastes a lot of my time because, if you've been watching the channel, you know quite how busy I am most days and so much stuff to do. And that's just the way it is. Can't really talk for this part. Hear that rain? This would have been a good day if I had a lazy day just to lay around watching movies. But I haven't had a lazy day in quite a while, you guys. Not in quite a while. Always seem to have something to do. How about you guys? I know there are some people who do love to do their makeup every day. If I was faster at it, I probably would. Because I do enjoy playing with it. I love wearing it. Definitely makes you feel and look much different. Of course, I don't necessarily think better. I think people are beautiful in their own skin as well. But if I had a lot of time, or if I could get faster at it, then I probably would do it every day. But you guys tell me. I used to have a little neighbor that lived back here behind us. They're not there anymore, but they used to be behind us. And she would get up every day and do a full face of makeup and always look real pretty and just ready for the day. And so when I was younger, that used to make me feel a little bad that I didn't have a desire to do that. And I thought, well, wow, maybe that's what I should be doing every day. Is that what a wife should do? But those thoughts and those feelings never stayed with me extremely long, because that's just not me. I never put a huge emphasis on that. Even in high school, there were many days that if I got up and didn't feel like doing a full face of makeup, I just didn't do one. It didn't bother me, you know. I cleaned my face, got myself presentable, did my hair, dressed nice, and off I went. I've never put the value that I can only be pretty if I wear makeup thing. You know what I mean? So it's just a fun thing for me. And if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. So that's just it. But anyway, there's my simple little look for today. Just something to add a little color to my face around here today. I don't know. Some days I just want to put on some makeup. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this little chit chat get ready with me. It's been a while, so hopefully you did. If you did, definitely be sure to give it a thumbs up. That helps me to know which videos you guys are really enjoying and what you want to see more of. So, I want to thank you so much for sitting here with me a few minutes today. I hope you have a great afternoon, and I will see you soon in the next video.